Hello. Today I've got a few fountain pens I'd like to share with you. They're all the Yiren, fake Lamy clones. I've got a Lamy Safari here. They only come in these 5 colours, and I think these are the best Lamy Safari or cheap Lamy Safari clones on AliExpress. I've got all 5 of them inked up. I also have the special nib tuning device that I used on all 5 of these to get them to their optimal sort of wetness and smoothness. I think these are the best Lamy Safari clones. They just write superbly, and of course they come in these very nice colours. So I'll just pop the actual Lamy Safari to the side. We'll start off with this one. So again, this is a Yiren. I believe it's the Yiren, if we can sort of get this right here, it's the 405, and if you search that on AliExpress you'll be able to find it. They're currently selling for about $3 New Zealand dollars, or about $2 US each, and the price has gone up since I bought these almost a year ago. They were only about $2 New Zealand dollars, very cheap. But they have a remarkable nib, and you don't really see these that often. It says extra fine, but really it's a fine medium. Just show underneath as well. So it's a Lamy style nib. It's steel, but it's been anodized with sort of a gold and rainbow appearance to it. The body of the pen has a Lamy type shape to it, and they all come in these nice sort of gradient colors, this one being black to silver. This one I've inked with Lamy black ink, and they also come with a Lamy style cartridge converter as well. As you can tell, these are very similar to the ones in actual Lamy pens. I've tuned this particular pen, you will see this in a previous video of mine about how to fix dry fountain pen nibs. I used this device to do that. So some of these Yiren fountain pens do sort of write quite dry out of the box, but with a little bit of tuning they become really nice, wet and smooth writers. So this is the Yiren 405. Lamy black ink. We'll just demonstrate some downstrokes, upstrokes, right and left. No skipping. Perhaps not so consistent with the upstrokes. How much flex? Honestly, not that much. And wetness is pretty superb, as you can see. So this one, again, same kind of design, but this one goes from pink to sort of a purple kind of color. I've got it inked with the Pilot Sunset Orange ink. Again, it has a anodized steel nib, same size. Downstrokes, upstrokes, right and left. No skipping, no skipping. Again, not much flex with these. And wet, very wet. I think these two I've both inked with the same, it's the Konpeki, or the, I think, deep blue? Pilot ink. Again, Yiren. This one from a blue to sort of purple gradient. And I think you can actually sort of see that this one still has some ink staining on it from the Konpeki ink. Got this one nearly inked to the full. And then that very nice anodized nib. I think this particular nib I haven't quite done as much tuning on. So if you sort of look at the line size, it seems to be just a bit finer than the ones up above. So it's Konpeki. Very nice blue ink from Pilot. Downstrokes, upstrokes, right and left. And because it's not quite as wet as the other ones, there is perhaps just a little bit of fading as we go up the upstrokes. Not so much in terms of flex. Yeah, and so you can see this one's not quite as wet, not quite as smooth as the other one, simply because out of some curiosity I can try and make this one wetter. Okay. Just wiggling it a bit. And we'll see if that's... Honestly, this one hasn't made that much of a difference, but it was writing okay anyway, so I'll probably leave it, and if I want to tune it later I can. This one, in the same pen, but a bit of a different kind of gradient. There's blue here and then some kind of salmon orange all at the end, and a gradient this way. Again, same kind of that sort of anodized rainbow nib. Konpeki ink as well. Yiren 405. Konpeki Pilot. So this one I've definitely have tuned before, and it, you know, there's definitely a bit of a wider, more fine medium size. No skipping. Again, not that much flex as expected, and perhaps slightly wetter than the last pen. Finally, again, same pen, this one with a green to perhaps slightly yellow. Well, you'll see, because in here it's actually a proper yellow gradient to green. And again, the same kind of nice rainbow nib. This one I've inked with the Pilot green ink, which I've forgotten the name of. I should check. Shinryoku, this one here. It's a very nice green ink. Oh, very good. So, Shinryoku. Downstrokes and upstrokes, right and left. No skipping. Also no skipping. Not much flex. And a somewhat decent amount of wetness to this nib. And of course the final comparison is with the original Lamy Safari. This one with Lamy blue ink in its original cartridge. I just use a syringe to refill these. And ins and outs is being the original. I mean, it feels very, very nice in the hand. Steel medium Lamy Nib. I wonder if you can see that M there. Where shall I write this? Maybe right at the bottom. Lamy Safari. So a proper medium nib, as you can tell. The thickness is much thicker than the ones up here in terms of line. Lamy blue. Downstrokes, upstrokes, right and left. Oh, this one does seem to skip. It's a funny thing, isn't it? Sometimes even the originals have little problems. How much flex? You know, you can tell that there is a bit of flex there. And wetness, pretty wet. and it does have a certain feedback when you write. It's quite pleasant. So today's comparison has been with a bunch of Yiren 405s, a clone of the Lamy Safari, this pen here. These are cheap pens, $3 New Zealand each, and they come in a far nicer gradient of colours. They write pretty well, but may require a little bit of tuning with a metal plate. And the nibs are, well, they're about fine medium, but they look pretty nice, very fancy anodized color to them as compared to the Lamy. But the fact is, you know, this cost me $58, right? So nearly $60. You get 20 of these pens for the same price. I wouldn't mind losing these. Anyway, until next time.